Alright, so let's begin the show, and on the show today we have NPS Classroom, and to talk more on this, an exclusive interaction with PFRDA Chairman Deepak Mohanty. Sir, welcome to the show and good evening. And first of all, congratulations, because the AUM has gone beyond 12 lakh crore. I remember having a conversation just 9 months back where the AUM had crossed 10 lakhs crore, so congratulations once again. But I want to know the breakdown over here, because it's just not the AUM that has gone up, even the subscriber base has gone up. So and also you have new revised targets for your end of this financial year as well. So what are the new targets, and what's the breakup of the new record that you've achieved?
Thank you, Kavita. As you mentioned that the AUM has gone beyond 12 lakh crore. So that is actually 12.3 lakh crore as of 8th June. In terms of the subscriber number, we have overall almost close to 1.5 crore subscribers in NPS, out of which 92 lakh are from the government, and balance 57 lakh are from the private sector, which would include private corporate sector and common people. So last year from the private sector we onboarded 9,70,000 subscriber, and our expectation for this year is that we should be able to do about 11 lakh subscriber, and assuming normal market functioning, we expect the corpus to expand to about 15 lakh crore by the end of March 2025.
All right. So when you're talking about NPS, we've seen a lot of investor-friendly steps taken, and in fact, the product has been made more investor-friendly. I want to understand the subscriber-centric initiative that you've been taking. It's whether it is a systematic lump sum withdrawal that's been introduced, or it's about a new scheme that's come up under NPS. Could you please elaborate more on this?
One is that during the accumulation phase, so of course people always had the choice of asset mix between equity, debt, and if it is debt, what kind of debt between government and the corporate. But then we have also given additional choice of pension funds. Earlier people had to go for one pension fund, but now we can have multiple pension funds. You see a particular pension fund doing well in equity, you choose that particular entity. And another pension fund doing better in, say, for example, government securities, you can certainly go for that. And on the exit phase, that when the annuity option is being exercised, so then we have given a choice of multiple annuity. As you know, there are different kinds of annuity product, and rates could be very different. Suppose you are taking an annuity without return of purchase price, the annuity rates are quite significantly higher, and but if somebody takes annuity with return of purchase price, so obviously the annuity rates are lower. But always in our society always that bequeath motive is there. People want to leave behind something for their next generation. At the same time they need income, so then they can combine. That 40%, for example, you can combine, mix two kinds of annuity. So these are the features that we have really brought in the schemes.
That's right, sir. But also, I want to talk about balanced cycle fund. That's a new scheme that's introduced under NPS, because NPS as a retirement product is really gaining momentum. And the best part about NPS is you get to invest in equity as well as debt-oriented schemes. Now, having a balanced cycle fund kind of a scheme introduced in it, what is the new way of having NPS portfolio diversified? If one wants to invest, what kind of an investor, according to you, should be going in for this kind of a scheme? And also, what exactly is this new scheme under NPS?
That as we discussed that there are multiple choices, so it has its pros and cons. Also, somebody financially well informed can make choices. So not many people also come into NPS because they get perturbed by the number of choices that we have offered. It's not easy to make that choices. But basically the essence of the choice is that we balance risk and return. And what essentially would it mean that when you are younger you take more risk, means get more into equity. When you are older you rebalance your portfolio towards the debt. Because pension fund is a conservative fund, so you don't want a diminution of the principal amount which is there. So to balancing this risk return, we have various life cycle funds. We have a conservative life cycle fund, moderate like 25% equity, then we have more aggressive like 75% equity, and in between there's a 50% equity life cycle choices, so people could straight away go into that. But there a question arises, are we really optimizing risk and return in that process? And so we did a lot of work and research and saw that maybe we are tapering off too early and we are too conservative, because in the earlier life cycle fund the tapering was starting at 35. So 35 is too young a age and too early in a service career really somebody to start tapering. So now with the new LC 50, which is essentially a balance fund, 50% equity, 50% debt, but the tapering will start at age 45. And then there also we are mitigating the endpoint risk, because your tapering starts but it stabilizes at 55. Assuming a normal retirement age is 60, so 55 to 60, your mix remains frozen between debt and equity. Of course, one can always time the retirement, those who could afford to do that, because it's not necessary that you exit at 60. One can go beyond that, one can stay in the system up to 75, but not everybody could do. So assuming a normal average person's retirement and risk tolerance, this LC 50 that we have introduced, of course the software is being developed, the back end is being developed, so we should be able to launch it sometime during next quarter, meaning between July to September this year.
Also, sir, overall pension assets in India, the figure is somewhere around 47.7 lakh crore. NPS and especially APY has almost 1/4 of it. Now, when you talk about distribution and having a deeper reach as far as NPS is concerned, what's in store and what's the plan ahead?
Yeah, the number of pension funds, our 11th pension fund that we have onboarded now. So if there are fit and proper entities coming in and showing interest, then we really would have to we'll be open about onboarding those pension fund. But as of now, the space looks balanced and adequate, and so the effort should be to onboard more and more subscriber from the private sector.
Also, one very crucial aspect of NPS is that you are also focusing on the unorganized sector, having more participation of women subscribers as well. So when you talk on these parameters and also including rural areas, what is the kind of penetration that we are looking at and what's the plan going ahead?
Yes, because first thing that the notion of pension, that it is only for salaried employees, it is only for organized employed. So that we are changing that narrative, because it is for everybody. Pension, anybody, NPS, anybody in the age of 18 to 70 can join that. So the other notion that it is city or urban centric, that also we are changing that narration. So the various outreach that we are doing, for example, our advertisements in the TV and all that, so we have generalized. It is also for small business, it is also for homemaker. So that is how that we are putting it. At the same time, the intermediary ecosystem which is there, so that is for example the POPs, we are expanding that to rural areas. Couple of things which are important there. We are also requesting all the banks that the rural branches should also offer NPS. All their branches, for that matter, should offer NPS. And also that we have enabled RRBs, regional rural banks, which are doing pretty well in sourcing Atal Pension Yojana. They should also be active in case of NPS. And we have allowed agents, for example, the business correspondents which the banks have, they can also offer NPS. So apart from that, as you know, that digital access anyway is there, and there again we are trying to reduce the journey time, because digital access sometimes it takes longer. So we are seeing if there are redundancies and how can we really speed up the system.
All right, sir, it's time to wrap up this discussion, but just before I let you go, any message for our viewers?
No, thank you. I think the main thing I would think that to bring in this LC50, so that's a new product that which would be coming in, and general one overarching issue, that notion that one retirement saving is enough is not correct, because globally as we look at the advanced countries, so at least they have access to three pensions. One would be the state given government public pension, basic minimum pension. One would be employer employee workplace pension, one would be a private pension. So despite that, the amount that comes in is not adequate. So the notion that we have only access to one retirement savings product is enough is not correct. So that's what I would mention. And second thing I would say, that as now that we are seeing the economy is doing well, we are having good GDP growth and expected to continue on that path. So people's ability to pay also would improve. Where people are, we see that exploring various products as you would be seeing in the market. So they should also consider. I am not saying pension in lieu of something else, but pension also as a product. So then this NPS will get a little more traction on that side.
On that note, thank you so much, sir, for being a part of the show and helping our viewers understand NPS as a product better, and also for answering all of our questions. Thank you so much. With that, it's time up for a quick break on the Money Show, but post that, let's get your mutual fund portfolio queries answered. I'll be joined by Pankaj Matpal to answer all your mutual fund portfolio queries live after this break.